Good morning to all the Aquariuses out there. When I first started working on this reading, I eventually looked up at the clock when it was time to put up the video, and it said 333. I don't know what 333 is. I don't have angel numbers memorized. And some people that do not have faith in anything would be like, well, that's just a clock, so what? So what that it said 333? But that was what I saw before I posted this. This is a complicated situation. We even have the complicated card in it. You could be dealing with a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. And when I woke up this morning, I was thinking of one of my favorite songs from Third Day. And I don't know if it applies to your situation or not, but Third Day made a song called Blackbird, and it goes Blackbird. And I know I sound crappy because I just got up this morning, but it goes, Blackbird, how you broken your wings. And it's basically about somebody who they keep themselves trapped. And what do you know? We have that card in your reading, a blackbird that is trapped. And in the song, the singer is talking about how the blackbird has become callous, and he's like, and I'm not a Christian, like I'm not any particular faith, but he goes, Jesus loves you and me and the preacher on TV you're putting down, blackbird. And he's talking about all these different things the blackbird does, and he's like, Blackbird, how I love to hear your songs. I could sit in the shade of the tree and listen all day long. Blackbird, who put you in your cage? Was it God, or was it you, or was it me? It's just an interesting song about this supposed blackbird that doesn't, you know, um, believe in Jesus. But I don't claim to be a Christian myself. What appeals to me about the song is, sometimes we can get trapped in certain beliefs and messages, and we can lose our connection to God. And I thought it was interesting how in part of the song he's like, you say you talk to angels, but I say you're such a lie. So some of the song is kind of, to me, it's kind of judgmental, but it's almost like he's kind of exposing somebody who is trapped, okay? And that was what appealed to me when I was thinking about doing your reading, because it's not, to me, the song, it's not about the fact that the person doesn't believe in Jesus, okay? Like I don't discriminate against people based on belief, and I don't, it's not my job to judge anyone. That's God's job, right? God judges, we don't, and some people don't even believe that God judges. Some people believe of, a loving God, but the point to me of the song is somebody has lost their connection to God. Somebody's lost their faith. Somebody is living in some sort of cage. It's a literal cage that they've put themselves in. And if they would just change their beliefs or the way that they look at things, their life could be so much different, right? But they're trapped. They feel trapped. Whoever this is, I don't know if it's you or your person, but somebody feels trapped. Now, with this high priestess of fire, we could be dealing with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, high priestess of fire. Okay, this card is to remind you of your ability to create your own reality and to choose how you channel your energy. So, the person in the song, it's almost like they didn't believe in anything, and they would tell these stories that were dark and full of shade. And, the singer, he liked the stories, but he wanted the blackbird to eventually see that God loves him or her, and that they could make a better reality for themselves if they would just turn to God. But it just wasn't happening, right? I mean, so he made that little song or whatever, and I think there's also part of the song where he talks about the black bird flying all around town or something. It's like it's a restless black bird. It's trapped in its thoughts and its energy, but it's restless. And this High Priestess of Fire card is reminding you that you have the ability to manifest your reality. And you and somebody else may not be getting along, but this person could be teaching you something. They could be teaching you that you do manifest your reality. And so it says, if you are restless, call upon the High Priestess of Fire for inspiration and joy, and she will release you from the trap of boredom. Fire brings warmth and light, but it also burns when it is allowed to get out of control. Spend your energy creatively, not impulsively, and guard yourself against burning out. Use your fire wisely and let your light shine brightly. Okay? So basically, with this card, it's saying there's nothing wrong with passion, but the problem is sometimes when we let passion get out of control, it can burn us. And I don't know if this person burned you in the past or not. We also get the rigid card. Somebody's very rigid. This could be you or your person. Um, you know, and again, we have that black bird. Black bird. Somebody was put in a cage, either recently or a long time ago. And because they were put in a cage, they're rigid, they have all these things going on, and eh, is there a stone wall that stands between you and others? Could that wall be inside you? So this high priestess of fire could see a wall in somebody that the other person doesn't see. Maybe you see a wall in this person, or they see a wall in you. And it's telling you, if you recognize a wall that others have put up, don't take it personally if they won't let you in. This is their way of coping, and it has little to do with you. So if someone put a wall against you, it's because they're trying to cope. They've got so much stuff going on in their life. They are trying to cope, like they're like, "Oh God," they're trying to cope. Like this person is having problems coping, and that's why they put walls up, so that people cannot come in. This is either you or your person, but somebody is putting walls up. And then we have the complicated card. And this is to deal with cycles too. Cycles in nature. And I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm really not trying to be funny or mean. But like when I think of cycles and complicated, this person could be going through some sort of cycle, like a menstrual cycle or, just some sort of cycle. Okay. So with complicated, it says, wouldn't it be nice if life were always simple and things were obvious and transparent? Right now, things are complex and only time will help you put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Just remember, simple can also be boring, and complications can make for deeper, more mature experiences. Don't try to figure this one out. Just be open and follow the threads of life's mysterious web, okay? Interesting. Cycles 37. So with cycles, what goes around comes around is the message of the symbol cycles, okay? Whatever you're planning to do or to reveal by asking your question will be revisited in other circumstances. Be clear about your action. You will surely meet this experience again. Remember, what goes around comes around. Like the moon that revolves around the planet, the energy that you express in your next action will orbit around you. Make sure it's a good one. I really like that card because I like the way it puts it. You know, I've read a lot of spiritual books, and this puts things into better perspective for me, okay? I never really liked how they worded things, and they were like, "Oh, you know, the energy that you think is what you project into the universe, and then it comes back." And it makes better sense to me from a planetary standpoint. You know how things revolve around the sun. It makes better sense to me to say something like the energy put out is what revolves around you in that moment. So if you were to look at yourself, and it's crazy because we do have a fire card, if you were to see yourself as the sun, or your person as the sun, or to see you both as like little suns, you know, whatever you put out, that energy orbits around you. So if you're like, man, it's such a beautiful day today, that energy is going to orbit around you. And so that's where it gets complicated with you and your person, okay? Y'all could have all sorts of energies orbiting around each other, or they could have a different energy from you. I don't know, but somebody feels trapped, and it goes back to that Blackbird song I was talking about. They feel trapped. They feel like, they can't get out of a certain situation. They feel like, and this person could feel like no matter where they go, they're trapped. It kind of reminds me of when I was younger and I used to go to church with my grandma, and she would come in and open the door of the church, and sometimes a bird that was, talking or flying nearby would fly into the church and end up hitting one of the windows because it didn't know it was a window. And the bird felt trapped in the building, I guess, and was trying to get out. And, so it could be that no matter where this person goes, they feel trapped. This person feels trapped in their life. Do you sense that you cannot do what you really want to do because others have expectations of you that you may not be able to fulfill? So this person could feel like other people's expectations are too high for them. And this could have been the way they were raised as well. They could have had all these expectations placed on them as a kid, and they're still trying to fulfill them. They still haven't let loose of their cage. Do you feel as if you will never get what you want or go where you truly want to go? Have patience, for truly you are in a temporary prison that exists in your mind. Your circumstances, no matter what they are, will change, and you will be free to experience the life you wish to lead. In these times, dreaming is the best antidote, and of course, patience. Consider the story of the half-raven boy, trapped in conflict until he finally follows his heart. So this person needs to follow their heart so that they're not trapped anymore, okay? They feel trapped. um And this is the counter energy. This is either your energy or the potential for them to change. When this person doesn't feel trapped, they could be the type of person that's playful. Or it could be that you're being playful around them, but they still feel trapped. They still feel trapped by old beliefs, okay? Um so playful. You could be trying to help this person get out of their cage by being playful. It says, wouldn't it be better if you were enjoying your life rather than just sitting around waiting for what you want to happen? Don't take yourself so seriously. It is time to lighten up and be playful. Know that when this symbol appears in your life, the fun is about to start, okay? So you're trying to help this person by being playful. And I don't know if that's going to help them or not. I mean, they have to be the ones to follow their heart to get out of the cage, okay? They have to follow their heart. And and their heart may not even, when it's all said and done, their heart may not even lead them towards you. But in order to get out of their cage, they have to follow their heart, is what they have to do. Okay? Um, this is work that they have to do, okay? I don't think it's wrong for you to be playful towards this person, but whoever is the person that is trapped, they're the one that need to do the work. I mean, we all need to do the work, but what I'm saying is, in order for anything to work out in this person's life, they need to do the work. And if you want to be with this person, they need to learn to love themselves and they need to do the work. Okay? I don't know. Some people, when they're trapped in certain beliefs, they just stay there. That they just decide to stay there. They get comfortable, I guess. Now this person feels like you don't see them, okay? They feel invisible to you. They feel like you ignore them and that you don't care about them, and they feel invisible to you. Like their life doesn't matter to you, like they don't matter to you. That's how they feel. Somebody feels invisible in this situation. And but that's not the truth. You don't see them as invisible. You see the beauty in them, okay? You see the good in them. And this is the card of, every rose has its thorn. You kind of look at them like, well, they're pretty and they have a little bit of thorns, but they're still pretty and that's how you see them. But they think that they're invisible to you, that you don't notice them. So let's look at 16. Sometimes you may feel like you don't fit in, as if you are invisible to others. So this person may feel like they don't fit in and that they're invisible to people. I don't think that's your energy. I think that's your person's energy. This person may be stepping back and remaining in the shadows. They don't really feel like it's the time to come out, right? Whatever this is that they're hiding in this cage, for some reason, I'm reminded also of somebody who could be trapped in the closet. You could be dealing with somebody who likes women. It's a woman that likes women or a man that likes men, and they're trapped in the closet and they don't really feel like it's the appropriate time to come out and tell their truth. But it doesn't have to be that. It could also be something else. I mean, but they just feel like it's not the time for them to tell all and show everyone their truth, right? They're trying to protect themselves so that they can observe their surroundings without being vulnerable. And the advice from this card is telling them to stay hidden and watch what others do before acting. So, this person they feel like they need to stay in the shadows, and watch what other people do before they're honest with other people, right? They're trying to figure out who you are, who different people are, who they can trust. I was reading a book like this yesterday in the bookstore. There are some people that are like, I wouldn't necessarily say paranoid. To me, paranoid is kind of, a label. We make a lot of labels to understand people. I think this person has been through a lot, And I think they're going through a transition period where they're learning about the world. Maybe somebody never taught this person how the world works. They were just kept in a cage, okay? I don't know how this person was raised, but they were kept in a cage most of their life by someone, either someone or a family. This person was in a cage. And now that they're finally free, I didn't know they were going to be free in this reading, but now that they're finally free, they don't know who they can trust. And there are cases like that, where social services, if we were to talk about children, social services has picked up children that were trapped. And then once these children were exposed to regular society, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to act. They didn't know how to speak. They didn't know how to socialize because in the past, some selfish person put them in a cage. So it's almost like your person could have gone to Catholic school or something like that. They were in some sort of cage, and the cage, defined what they were supposed to do, who they were supposed to be, and now they don't know who they want to be anymore, and they don't know who they are anymore because the cage is gone now. It's almost like whoever imprisoned this person either passed away or is not in their life anymore. Something happened to where they didn't have to be in the cage anymore. And it's almost like with you being playful, you're trying to help this person lighten up. You're trying to help them get out of their cage. But they don't see it as play. They don't see you trying to play with them. They feel like they're invisible to you, but you feel like they're beautiful. Interesting. Okay, let's get I was going to pull out the wrong cards. Let's get some energy oracle cards for some more insight into this situation. Society does that to a lot of people. Society puts people in cages. You know, we all have our different families of origin, and no family is perfect. But in every family, there is a certain level of brainwashing that occurs. And it doesn't matter what religion you are, whether you're Catholic, Jehovah Witness, it doesn't matter what religion you are, there's always going to be some form of brainwashing. And even if you grew up in a family that didn't believe in religion, there's still a form of control and brainwashing. You know, and some families, and I encountered this with somebody I used to know in high school. They claim to be religious, but they're really not. Their actions show that they're really not as religious as they say they are. And if you're smart enough at a certain age to realize that the people trying to brainwash you are full of crap, you're going to be able to break out of this. But some people, it takes them longer to break out of it. And I don't think they're necessarily dumb. I just think that some people are slow learners. It could be it took this person a while to realize that they were brainwashed. They could be a late bloomer. Um, This person's working on healing. Either you or your person are working on healing. This is for our High Priestess of Fire card, door to personal healing and happiness, okay? They're trying to figure out what makes them happy. Somebody's trying to figure out what makes them happy. The complicated aspect is this person's going on a journey, okay? And unfortunately, I don't really think this is a good idea to do on a journey, but look at all the baggage they're taking with them. This card is not as good as the Fool card. It's more pretty than the Fool's card, but in the Fool card, he only has like a little knapsack, right? Or a little bag, but she's got all like these cases and stuff. someone's going on a journey and they've taken their baggage with them, and that's what makes this situation complicated, you know. It would be one thing if they went on a journey without their baggage, but it looks like they're taking their baggage. Now with trapped, this person is going to have a victory, okay? This person's going to break free from this cage and from everything they've been brainwashed to believe, okay? It's almost like this person's going to see society for how it really is, you know. And I'm not saying society is good or bad. It's just they're going to see through all the illusions of society, you know. They're going to be free, or they could have recently been freed. Now with invisible, we have indecision. That's why they're undecided about you, because they feel like you don't see them, that they're invisible. You know, and it kind of reminds me of when I was in high school and there was a guy I liked named Matt, you know, and lately I've been thinking a lot about Matt, you know, and Matt was an atheist, you know, and I was raised in a Christian home, you know, but Matt was in a Christian home too. He just didn't believe the stuff they tried to feed him. And I used to think Matt was just so attractive. Like I had like the biggest crush on Matt, and but I felt like he didn't see me. And I felt like he didn't see me because I was a Christian or because of the family I came from. I felt like he didn't see me sometimes. And he always just tended to assume the worst about me. And I'm not saying that's your situation, but there was one day I actually went up to talk to Matt, and he thought I was trying to convert him to Christianity. And I was not doing that. I was asking Matt a question because I was confused about my own Bible. And I was like, Matt, how come this scripture says this, but then this scripture says that? And they both complicate things. Well, not complicate, but they're contradictory. How come this? You know, because Matt knew a lot about the Bible, even though he was an atheist. Like, there are some atheists out there that know more about the Bible than Christians. And so he finally, once his wall came down and he realized I wasn't trying to convert him, we talked a little bit, and then he went to bed because he worked a night job. So, anyways, he knew about self-love. You know, he put his needs ahead of mine, and he knew about self-love. You know, I couldn't come in his house, but he told me that he was going back to bed because he worked a night job. You know, now some people who are people pleasers, you know, might be like, oh sure, you can come in my house, but that wasn't Matt. Like, Matt loved himself, he respected himself. I mean, aside from the occasional drug use, you know. But um so my whole point with this story, you know, of feeling invisible to Matt, is somebody feels invisible to you. And it could be because of different beliefs. Maybe y'all have different beliefs, or maybe they're new to learning about the world and they feel invisible to you. Maybe they feel like you look down on them, you know, like that you don't take them seriously. You know, it's kind of like in high school where you have cheerleaders, and a lot of people think, oh, the cheerleaders are so popular and pretty, like they don't notice me. You know, and that's why they're undecided about you, okay? It's almost like this person does not like to be ignored, and they're they're at a crossroads at this point. And with indecision, they could be choosing between you and another person, you know? Um Now with this rigid card, somebody's being rigid. I don't know if it's you or your person, but it looks like it could be on your side. We have a storm warning. Okay, storm warning. Okay, I'm gonna put the rest of your cards down, but I'm gonna get into some of the cards I haven't been opening the book for. Now, with the journey card for the complicated aspect of this reading, because this person is going on some sort of journey. Oh, they could be moving. So it makes the situation so complicated. They could be moving. Even if they're not literally moving, it could be that something about their mindset is changing. A vacation, a retreat, or a class, or even a work-related trip. This card could also signal a move of residence or a job relocation. So they could have recently switched jobs. The upright position, which it was upright, should indicates that the plan should go off without a hitch. And it says to still be clear about your motivations and mindful of logistics. So this person is they're going through a lot of adventures, okay? Kind of reminds me of the adventures of Alice in Wonderland. But with this storm warning, it's almost like you have this wall up towards this person, and I don't know why you have a wall up towards this person. I think it's related to their healing journey. I think in their healing journey, they may have said or done some things towards you that you didn't like. And so you became very rigid and you put up a wall because maybe they said or did something that hurt you. And you're like, well, I don't want to be hurt again. So you put up a wall. And now we have this storm warning. Okay. Storm warning. So that is 10. This card indicates a potential difficulty either in the external world or within yourself and your emotional life. The difficulty is coming closer, and you may have already heard rumblings of potential problems around you. The caution here is to be cautious yet not not cautious, conscious yet not fearful. Consider what's going on and look at the situation with calm clarity. Investigate your options and honor yourself and your intentions. Stand up for yourself and take action on your own behalf. As with all difficulty, even the worst storm passes. Always remember you have the power and the wisdom to handle whatever may come your way. So even though like this person is healing, it's telling you to still stand up for yourself, right? If they treat you a certain way, it's telling you to stand up for yourself, right? Um, we also have journey and complicated and cycles. The cycles card is I think is more in your energy. We have the 7th chakra, the number 7, Archangel Uriel, okay? 7th chakra, okay? Now, I don't know if this person wants to move to be with you or they don't want to be with you. That could make the situation complicated, if they don't want to move, right? But I realized something this morning and things happen according to the universe's plan, right? So, I mean, if it would benefit this person to move to be with you, somehow in the end, that's going to happen anyways, to where they have to move and be with you because, if it's meant to happen and we don't do what is required of the universe is going to make that shift for us, okay? But with the cycles card and your archangel, again, another fire card, fire of God. Okay. It's talking about getting connected to spirit. Okay. So, it's telling you that you need to connect to God. And the affirmation is my 7th chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. Love and inspiration from spirit and my own intuition flow fully to me now. So you could be praying to God about this and asking God about this, okay? It could be that somebody does not want to move or travel to be with somebody. And with you and your cycles that you're going through, this could be the ups and downs, right? The positive and the negative thinking. What may be causing you to have problems right now is you need to do some seventh chakra work, get closer to God, right? It's almost like, to me, it's like a battle of wills here, or a battle of people arguing about who's right and who's wrong. It's a lot of ego stuff going on here. And so it's important to listen to your heart and to listen to God, because this person may claim that they're, in tune with God, and you may claim that you're in tune with God. But the problem is, it's almost like some sort of spiritual battle between you two, and sometimes the ego can get involved in spiritual battles, and it really doesn't have a place, in arguing about matters of spirituality. I mean, in a lot of churches, you will see people that think they know it all, pastors, preachers that think they know it all. And it kind of reminds me of a Marilyn Manson song where he says, you can't see the forest for the trees, and you can't smell your own on your knees. So, and he's basically, in that song, he's exposing, how bad society can be sometimes. But so it's almost like a battle of wills, almost, or some sort of argument about who's more spiritual, who's more close to God, who knows what God wants, and but it's saying that you're the one that needs to clear your seventh chakra if this is your energy, okay? Now, maybe it's your person's energy, I don't know, but in order for you to get closer to God, if this is your energy, you need to clear your seventh chakra so that you know what this person knows, or they need to clear their seventh chakra, right? There's a seventh chakra that needs to be cleared so you can be in alignment with God, or someone can be in alignment with God. So somebody could already be in alignment with God and what God wants, right? They're already in alignment, but the other person is not in alignment, and they're refusing to see a specific truth. And that's because their seventh chakra needs to be cleared. Now, none of our chakras are ever fully cleared, right? None of them are ever fully cleared. But when we clear our chakras, we're help moving the energy from one chakra to another. Now, with this person, they're trapped, they're trapped in their cage, or they just recently got out of it. But you just want to play with this person. You just want to be playful, okay? And, if you combine this card with the bird card, I really don't think it's right, okay, Aquarius? Because they're in a cage and you're playing with them while they're in a cage. Like, come out, and there's a cat here, Aquarius. I don't think the bird wants to come out for the cat, okay? But let's get our card for that. You're trying to be playful with them because you have so much to offer them. You are blessed. Like, look at all these blessings you have, Aquarius. You are so blessed, and you want someone to share these blessings with. That's why you're playing with them. It's like, don't you want to see how all of this, we could share it? Like, don't you want to see, now if this card had another bird on it, it would be like you trying to get another bird to come out and play so y'all could enjoy life's blessings together. Now, with indecision, we have the thinking man. And this could be a man or a woman, but somebody could have been influenced, right, by a thinking man in their family, or see, I'm reading this wrong. I was putting this over here. This belongs here with the beauty card. Okay, this could be a man or a woman, a thinking man. So basically, it's what I was saying earlier. You think this person is beautiful, but they think that they're invisible to you. But you see the beauty in them. You see, like, this man, and he's holding all these diamonds or crystals, and he sees the beauty in them along with this beauty card. It's almost like you think this person is beautiful while they're going out trying to learn about the world. You know, diamonds don't start out as diamonds, right? They start out as rocks. And it's like you could be watching the purification process going through this person. It's almost like you see the benefit in them learning about themselves. You see that benefit. You see that potential that this person has, and they don't see it. All they see is the fact that they feel like you're ignoring them. That's all they see. You know, they don't see the fact that you're giving them space on purpose so that they can grow and decide who or what they want to be in life, right? You're giving them space for a reason because you want to help them, but they don't see it that way. And I didn't pull out the card that I needed to pull out for you because you do have another card. Oh, this is what you don't see coming in the middle of April. This person, you're dealing with a very difficult person. We have the Strength card, okay? So it's almost like in the middle of April, maybe they start ignoring you or they stop talking to you. I mean, it's basically the same thing. Start ignoring you, stop talking to you. Interesting. It's not that you don't want this person to make a decision. It could be that you know if you pressure them, things won't work out right. Sometimes we pressure people and we don't get what we want, right? Like if I was cooking, brownies in the oven or somebody else was, and I was like, hey, I want my brownies now. What happens when you open up the oven? If they're not fully cooked, there's still a bunch of liquid. So you recognize the value in giving this person space and giving them time to figure out who they are, okay? So it's almost like, and this is the case for everyone, we're all on different paths of our soul journey, and it's almost like they are connected to God, but they don't really understand what God is doing or what's going on, okay? They don't understand it. They don't understand what God is doing or what's going on. Not everybody can handle freedom. Back in the day, and I don't usually talk about this because, it's not really my thing. But I'm not, like one of those history buffs who knows everything about history. There are certain things of history that I find interesting. But back in the day when there were slaves in America, it came to a point where America freed the slaves, right? And some of the slaves could handle it and some could not. And it's just like with the Native Americans, a lot of Native Americans, they will drink a lot. And to me, those are the Native Americans that were not able to handle freedom. And part of it is, because of all they went through. They went through so much. And then when they finally get freedom, they don't know what to do with it. And with the slaves, they didn't have somebody, and I'm not saying slavery was a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying this was a transition period for them because no longer did they have to work in the field, and no longer did they have to live off somebody they didn't want to live off of. Which really they weren't living off of them. They were working to live where they lived. But so I just get a lot of frustration from this person because of the transition period they're going through. It's like they miss, I don't want to say they miss being a slave or that they miss, their captivity or that they miss their cage. I mean, it's just that this was something they were used to, and now that they're out of their cage, they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. Your problem is a person with trust, okay? And they're looking for love. They're trying to stay grounded in the midst of a victory. And they're trying to have courage to make a decision, okay? Now, you know your worth. You've already done a lot of work on yourself because it says extraordinary. There's a wild and impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. So you know that you're worth something. You know your worth is basically what I'm trying to say. So they look at you like they can't trust you, but you know that like you're amazing. You also get non-duality, let your authentic humanity shine forth. While also bowing to the inner divine, you can become fluent at doing both. You're learning to accept your bright and dark sides at this time. You wish this person would just go with the flow. And you're trying to respond, with calmness and peace. You're trying to go with the flow, okay? In terms of all that your life is offering you with your blessings. Yeah, you know who you are. We get the self-love card, okay? So you love yourself. But you see someone else who hasn't really learned all of the lessons that they need to learn, and they're still learning. This is the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle, okay? It's almost like if you're on everyone's on their own journey, but it's almost like you began your journey years before this person did, and they're just starting out, right? They're just starting out. And I think that's usually what happens when somebody gets, free from their cage. Something could have happened in this person's life, whether, like, usually it takes some sort of event for a person to become free, right? Some sort of event happened in order for them to finally become free. We have Menelite, Rose Quartz, Tiger's Eye, Black Tourmaline, Moldavite, Labradorite, and Reddenberg Amethyst, and Purpurite. Okay, so with the Purpurite, I have seen this crystal before, and it is basically the curse clearer. It says you need to be open to new ways to heal. Protect yourself appropriately, but do not be overly defensive. Check out whether you have inadvertently offended anyone. If so, make reparation where possible. If not, send unconditional love and forgiveness without needing to know why or where. We also have Brandenburg Amethyst, okay? I did not expect your reading to be this long. Like, usually I do not talk so much. Like, usually it is like, I just read the book, right? So you're perfect as you are, and it's telling you to step into your soul path and seed your future with potential. Self discipline and clear focus bring your dreams to fruition. Aim for the highest. You are perfect exactly the way you are, okay? We also get Labradorite. And Labradorite basically says to beware of psychic vampires. Ensure that you do not have a leaky aura. You face a temporary setback, but a sudden reversal of fortune is possible. Be careful what you wish for, it may come true. Raise your consciousness to the highest levels. Okay, there's some sort of love coming in for you, possibly. We also have Moldavite, okay? Moldavite. And it's telling you to detach yourself from mundane issues. You could be going through a spiritual transformation. Talk to your soul to check the outcome of present actions. Dramatic changes occur as you reach beyond your limits. Transcend time, avoid sowing seeds of destruction. Fertility and good fortune await. So when it says avoid sowing seeds of destruction, it's basically saying, don't sow negative thoughts, right? Don't sow negative thoughts, right? We also have black tourmaline. Black tourmaline. Strengthen your protection. You'll soon see the way through obstacles. Ill wishing or envy may be directed your way. Neutralize bad energy without harm to others. Watch your thoughts, attend to practical matters, be generous, and give others freedom. So it's basically saying that this person still needs a lot of freedom to come into who they are, okay? The person you're dealing with. Now with Tiger's Eye, you have unlock your creativity, find prosperity and lasting success. Long journeys and celebrations lie ahead. Your personal power, confidence, and energy are high. Use them wisely, commit to goals. Distinguish between wishful thinking and what you really need. Assist friends to gain their heart's desire. Past lives throw light on current situations. So if you want someone to desire you, it's saying to assist them. Okay. We have rose quartz as well. Forgive yourself. Love and beauty approach. Loneliness is at an end. Emotional blockages dissolve. Do not accept blame. Recognize the unconditional love and friendship. Draw exactly the right people to you. Once you love yourself, you can give and receive love from others. Support is available in a crisis. So it's telling you to keep loving yourself. We also have Menelite. So this is wise feminine energy. It says honor your sacredness, mark rites of passage joyfully, experience a period of gestation. To move would not be beneficial now. Nurture yourself and bide your time. Withdraw into your inner world to accept necessary change. Make your soul whole. So find your soul fragments and find power allies. You know when it is time for rebirth, okay? So you're going through some sort of rite of passage. Now it says a rite of passage through womanhood to wisdom, but you could be a man watching this. But it's telling you to stay where you're at and to love yourself and find your missing soul fragments. Okay. There's not a lot of people out. I mean, there are, but what I'm trying to say is there are people out there that do not honor their sexuality, right? They think that they're bad. Sometimes I'm afraid to use certain words on these readings because I know that teenagers could be watching them because I don't have like a 18 limit. Um, but to me, what that card basically meant is someone is deciding who they want to be. It would not be good for you to move at this time. Now, I don't know why that is, but it's just saying movement is not good for you at this time. Like moving somewhere else is not good for you at this time. So if somebody's interested in you, that person needs to come see you. Okay, they need to come see you because movement is not good for you at this time. And your person's going through their own journey, right? And you're not really the type of person that's going to tell this person what to do. Some people are like that. Some people, when they see that somebody has recently become free from a situation, they're like, okay, now this is what you need to do. You need to do this, this, and that. And you need, they automatically try to control somebody's life. And that person was already controlled enough, right? But you're not doing that to this person. You're giving them all the freedom and space they need, but they feel like you're ignoring them. And, but to me, that's a personal issue for them to deal with. The thing they would need to ask themselves is, why is your attention so important to them? And that would be what they need to ask themselves. Because depending on how much y'all know each other, y'all may not know each other that well. When I was in high school, I didn't know much about Matt. I knew he came from a household of hypocritical Christians who were not real Christians, but I didn't know everything Matt had been through or much about Matt. But yeah, I still wanted Matt's attention, right? Because Matt was hot, and his mannerisms and his personality, but I didn't really know the real Matt until we talked one day at his house, which I was not in his house, but I learned who the real Matt was when he told me, I work the night shift. No, you can't come visit me today. I'm going to sleep, So then that was when I learned that even though Matt came from a bad environment, Matt had a lot of self-love. And I started to really learn more about who Matt was, and I kind of backed off, because at my stage in my journey at that time, I didn't know about self-love. Okay. I just threw away a Bible case yesterday that said love bears all things. I do not believe that today. Today, I kind of feel like if somebody was mistreating me, I'm not going to bear it. Like to me, that is mental illness, but I was brainwashed to believe that love bears all things, and I threw away that Bible case yesterday. Like it was so old, not that, just because something's old, we should throw it away, but I mean, it represented like old, outdated beliefs, and I was at a different stage in my journey. So, when Matt showed me what self-love was, I gave him the space that he needed to love on himself. So this person, they may not even know who you are. They may not know that you have a lot of love for yourself, and they come from a background where they were not treated well, and they're reenacting some of the things they learned onto you, and they're testing you. They're basically testing you is what they're doing to see how you react. And this could have been a pattern in this person's family, where people did things to them to see how they would react, and they thought it was funny. um you know but spiritual growth is about moving out of certain patterns, and this person still needs time to move out of certain patterns. um so they're really, things are complicated with this person. You can't just, jump into a relationship with them or be like, I want them now, I feel like we're meant to be, or whatever it is you feel. You can't do that because this person is still growing and you've given them space, but they feel like you're ignoring them. And it's almost like they're trying to decide who they want to be, but the problem is it's almost like they could be trying to merge their identity with your identity, and that's just not going to work. People have to figure out who they are. They can't just merge their identity with somebody else's. That would be like being a copycat. And there was even a movie like that. I forget the movie. I think it was called White Girl, and I heard about it from another tarot reader, where there was a girl living with a roommate who started imitating everything she did, and it was just so creepy. So this person needs to learn who they are and what they're here to do. And that's why you should keep doing what you're doing, which is giving them the space that they need. And just keep going on your journey. I don't think you're above this person. I just think that, you're at a different stage, basically. And it doesn't mean that you're above them. Everyone has the same higher self. It's just, you have a better way of expressing your higher self than they do. Okay. So, you may be the type of person who, if you miss somebody, you're direct and you say it. You tell that person you miss them. This person is the type of person who could be like, if they miss somebody, they say a bunch of hateful things like, why haven't you showed up yet? Where were you? And they're not really on your level. And so it's best to give them the space that they need so they can grow and expand to get on your level. And by the time they make it to your level, you may not even be there anymore. You may be at a higher level. So this person, they're on a different level than you. You're on a higher level than them as far as communication goes. You are better at communicating, and they're just not. They could have been around people that um, were indirect, played games, and they thought, oh, that's the way you communicate with people. You be indirect and you play games. And they thought that that was the way to communicate with people. And that's why they need space to learn that no, that is not how you communicate with people. In order to communicate with people, you have to be direct. Thank you.